How was your weekend? Good morning, everybody. Yes. They said I wouldn't be here, but I'd be in seclusion somewhere, but I'm here. I'm here, I'm queer, and I'm proud. And get used to it. All broads, please call.
Oh, my God!
If you can just form a line outside the studio, I'd appreciate it. Yeah. Robin, you're in charge of the line.
No, I figure this is the end of me and the show.
This is the end of you. Yeah, now all debauchery begins.
Oh, man.
I just saw an internet poll that says I'm going to be banging you.
Well, that's what I thought. I said, yeah, now they'll think, okay, that affair between them can be run out in the open.
Why don't we talk about it? Why don't you come clean?
Look, I like the secretness of it. If we're going to be open, I'm quitting.
I said, now I'll never get to bang Jackie's wife, because I think she only wanted me when I was married.
Right. Now that you're available, she won't want you.
Yeah. Oh, I'm real available.
Vote now. See, before, you know,
I think she'll bang him.
But wait a minute, you're not divorced.
No, I'm not. And you know what?
I don't understand this whole separation thing.
I will explain it.
Okay.
If I can figure it out.
Because I was like, what is that?
I don't want to say the wrong thing either, because it's a very touchy situation. I had maybe the worst weekend of my life, so.
Really?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I thought things were supposed to be getting better now.
No, things are bad. Things get worse. I'll explain it.
All I have to say...
What? Yeah, nothing gets better.
Oh, please. All I have to say is thank God for the Yankees.
Knocking me off the front page.
Yeah.
Right.
Because what would have been the front page got obscured by 5 or 6 pages of Yankee coverage.
Yeah, somebody told me they got me on Saturday Night Live. Jackie said he was in a bar somewhere, which is shocking.
No. He was in a bar.
Did you hear about that?
By the way, I just want to say something before we go to commercial, because once we get into this discussion, you know it's going to go 7 hours.
That's right. We won't be taking commercial.
You should see the phone calls lined up.
Oh.
I mean, I'm looking at some of the phone calls, like, you know, there's about 6 guys who want to sleep with my wife.
Of course. That was the thing. Are you going to be able to handle that?
No. And she's
Your wife is going to be a target.
Yeah, she's a real catch. I'm reading the newspaper what a catch she is.
Yeah, for guys now. She's like going to be a guy magnet.
I'm going to call her up and ask her. This has been a nightmare. So I'll tell you all about that. I just figured I'd come in, we'd talk about it. I'll answer all the questions.
Yeah, this is almost like an intervention. We're all sitting here. We're having counseling.
I just want to say one thing. Robin, you were very nice to speak to me about this. I'm talking about, you know, over the weekend, I didn't get one call from Jackie or Fred. I wrote them a note.
You know what?
What?
I didn't hear about it till Saturday night.
I wrote you a note. I wrote Fred a note.
I wasn't home this
I
weekend.
said, but where the hell am I going to call him?
The only 2 guys I didn't hear from.
That's the other thing.
Well,
I was on Long Island all weekend with my wife and kids.
It's not like I didn't think to call you. I was like, you know.
My wife and I are spending more time together now than we ever did.
Well, that's what I thought. I said, well, this is a major tragedy. He probably spent the weekend with his wife and kids.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, everyone was looking for some big scandal or some sort of, like, thing to rock the universe. It just,
yeah, like now you'd be, you know, here with your new girlfriend.
Yeah, like my girlfriend would show up today and we'd be having sex on the air.
That's right.
I thought if I called it'd be like out of morbid curiosity, like, hey, boss, what's going on?
Well, that's another, you know, because I started to call and I said, no, you're probably being inundated with calls.
I actually called you. And I hung up in the middle because I was being inundated by calls, so I had to hang up.
Oh, because
I got sick of talking about it?
Right. Absolutely. And I said, what, am I going to add to that?
And
that's what I thought, too.
My wife was handling all the calls and talking to people. And
oh, I can't even imagine.
It's a nightmare. And then, you know, I got 3 kids, and there was a picnic for them.
Oh.
And the whole thing was just a nightmare. It still is, but...
Yeah, I was in seclusion. You didn't. I almost didn't show up today.
I know. But I figured if we don't show up,
then yeah.
Then
it off.
You know, the other thing I thought about, I said, this is horrible, because I know Kathy Lee is dancing around her kitchen.
Yeah, Kathy Lee, that bitch. That's all right. Kathy Lee had 1 failed marriage.
Please.
Come on. And her husband cheats.
It has left many people.
That's right.
She's, you know, just an other wife.
So, Kathy Lee, you angry broad.
Right.
If you think you have one over on me, you don't. You better shut your trap. I still have it over you. I'm still ahead of you. And I still say my kids will turn out better than yours. I don't care.
Because that's what I thought. Ooh, I hate all the people who gloat.
Hey, let them gloat.
Did you see the counselors in the paper declaring?
I brought in all the articles. All the marriage counselors. One guy got it right.
Well, maybe.
One guy kind of got it right.
He
said,
just guessing, though, like everybody else.
Yeah, I'll read the article. We got a lot of articles to read. Today the show's about me.
Oh. What's it been about before?
I just said, but Jackie and Fred, you don't even get like a call of like, how you doing, bro?
No.
Like, my wife got tons of phone calls. She has all kinds of friends, and that's what did in the marriage anyway. She's got all connections and friends and everything.
Well, yeah, but whose fault is that?
Mine.
So?
Believe me. I told you my wife's complaints about me. I'm a skunk. She didn't even say I was a skunk. She was just like, you work all the time. You're not the life of the party when you come home. You just sit in your basement. Just gave it to me. What am I going to say? It's not this guy in the newspaper had it right. This guy in Dix Hills, he's a...
right. How
Dr. Joel Block.
Yeah,
he says, relationships fail on things that wouldn't make a great movie. Everyday kind of things. And in my view, it's practically always about intimacy. It sounds just like my wife talking. She's right.
Saturday, right.
And she was right. Yeah, that was Saturday. I'll read the whole thing.
Actually, that was Sunday.
It was Sunday,
analysis,
right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was fun. The New York Post is really strange.
The post-mortem.
I'll tell you why they're strange. I'll tell you everything when I get back. I'll take the phone calls. We'll do all of that. It should be an interesting show. If there's anything that's good that comes out of this,
it'll be
a highly rated show.
I got to tell you, though, the first thing, because like I said, I was happy that it was not on the front page of the newspaper.
Right, because of the game, yeah.
Then you'd have, it would have been a nightmare.
Well, it was on the front page, except the front page was 10 pages in.
Right.
Because of the special Yankees section.
Yeah, so instead of seeing your marriage ending, people saw the Yankees won.
Yeah.
And I'm in this pet food store.
Right.
And the guy calls his wife because I'm in there. Oh. And she gets on the phone and she says, you tell her she works with a horrible man.
Oh.
And the guy's like, no, he's a family guy. That's just what he does on the air. He's leaving his family. I was like, oh my God, thank God this is not on the front page.
There goes that.
Yeah, because like the one redeeming thing about me was that I was married for 21 years.
Yeah. That you were still married.
Yeah, I was still married.
I don't know if married for 21 years.
You're right. But you know what? I didn't get that much slack. I was thinking about it. Here I was married, but even my critics would say, yeah, so what? He's still disgusting. I never got that much break for being married.
We'll see.
That counts a lot. Maybe I did.
It would have been worse.
Never know.
You know what I said? I said to Dan Cloris, my publicist, I said to him, because he released this to the paper, I said, here's what's going to happen. There'll be a bunch of articles about this, but I said, Andrea Pizer on Monday will have this huge column about, how horrible I am. And there it is. But actually, she confessed to being a fan. Did you read it?
Yeah, I've talked to her before. Yes, she's a fan.
We'll read it on the we'll read it on the air. We'll read all these articles on the air. We'll analyze it. We'll try to be open about it. Obviously, it's a pretty painful situation and not easy to talk about, but I'll tell you what's
giving everybody something to talk about.
Yeah, I know. I said to Alison this weekend, because we spent the whole weekend together. People think we're like warring or something. We're not. We're not at all.
Oh, yeah, there's people in the paper speculating that it's not really friendly.
I know. Because I'm going to talk about that. Well, then what was I doing in my house all weekend? And, it's actually very friendly. That's the hard part about all this.
Yeah, because you were always good friends.
We're still good friends. We're still best of friends, and sometimes things just get a little complicated.
And there's every possibility that you'll get back together.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for. It's just I think we need a break, and the problem is I think a lot of couples go through this.
Yeah.
And what happens is that they don't have it on the front page of the newspaper.
Right.
So now there's like all this pressure, and we're just trying to take a break and get some downtime.
Get some perspective.
Yeah, because things haven't been good for a while, in terms of, we've had a good friendship. We have it's just weird when it's on the front page of the newspaper. I've always liked being a celebrity. I always thought it, got me into some good situations. But when something bad happens like this, it doesn't make it easy because, everybody's calling everybody. I said, here, once again, we're entertaining people.
Right, absolutely.
with this horror in our life.
Absolutely. Now people can talk about this.
Yeah, it's a horror. I've heard people talk about divorce, and I don't come from a family of divorce, neither does my wife. I've heard people talk about separations and stuff and how horrible they are and what it's like for the kids and all that kind of stuff. And I just figured it would never be me. I just never thought that this would happen to me. And here it is happening, and it's like worse than I ever could have imagined. It's the worst thing you can go through.
That's what everybody says.
Yeah, and when people say that, I always go, yeah, so what? And then you go, oh, yeah, some guys, oh, yeah, you're going to be out banging chicks or something. Forget about it. It is so...
You don't have time.
You don't have, man.
You're so busy.
I'm more busy with my kids and my wife now than I was the whole time I was married. Honest to God.
That's what
Yeah. I'm trying to figure how I'm going to pull this one off.
He was explaining his schedule to me. I was like, oh.
Oh, my God. I don't even...
I was like, oh.
I'm going to be exhausted. I'm going to have to quit the show. I'm not kidding you. Now you know.
You manage like a Marine, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because we got to manage the kids together. We got to
time here.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I mean, it's just you need your own shuttle service.
And you feel horrible because you don't want to disrupt your kid's life. You know, it's a nightmare, man. The whole thing's a nightmare. But you know, I mean, Alison. Listen, anyone who's listened to this show knows that Alison is really the best friend I have, and probably the most wonderful person in my life. And I'm not just saying that. I mean, I really mean it. I'm closest to her. I'm closer to her than anybody in this world. And we just spent the whole weekend crying and
you are
just being miserable.
The story of us.
Yeah, the story of us. I won't go. That's why I told you I wouldn't go see it.
I went there knowing this.
Yeah.
And I cried my eyes out.
Right.
Because all I could think about was, oh, my God. You know, and at the end, I was like, oh, my God. I really did. I just cried my eyes out.
All our friends keep calling and saying, how do you explain this? In fact, some guy in the newspaper, one of my neighbors, who's a real nice guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, says, gee, I just saw them in their car this past week, laughing with the kids and blah, 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 the gas station guy where we go to.
Oh, the gas station.
Yeah, him too.
Good friend.
Yeah, and it's the truth. We can't figure all of this out. We try to explain it to our kids. We're like, we can't explain what's going on with us. We're just kind of in a bad spot right now. And
it's
we keep
part of the growth process.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
No, it is. I mean, you know, how do you, for 20-something years, be with a person without a... I mean, you were with your family for 20 years, and all you could think of was getting away.
I know.
Once that 20 years was up.
Yeah.
And you love your family.
Yeah, I do.
But, you know, you need a break sometimes.
Yeah, so we're having a break. I know a lot of couples who've done this, but they do it very privately.
Yeah.
And
you wouldn't even know it.
You would never know it.
Back together, you'd never know they were separated.
Yeah. Like I was reading in the paper today. I was reading something about Stephen Bochco and everything. I said, very few people know that he got divorced like a year or two. Yeah. Who would know? Who cares? But, man, for me, it's
you don't even recognize him.
Yeah.
But that's what, I was like, oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God.
Yeah, well, there's a ton of phone calls. People want to talk about this, so I'm prepared. I'd rather not, but that's not...
I'd rather not have this happening.
Yeah, but, what am I going to do? What can I do? Well, hopefully if I talk about it for the next 3 years... It'll go away.
You'll talk yourself right past.
Yeah. Today's castor oil Monday. Today I take my castor oil. Today everybody gets to...
Have at you.
Yeah, everyone gets to pick at my bones.
That's right.
Yeah.
I said the other day, Gary said to me, what do you think's going to happen to us when we die? I said, they'll drag us down the street behind the hearse. Yeah, we'll be like Mussolini. People will urinate on us. That's right. People throw garbage out their windows as we pass.
I know there's tons of people who are happy this morning.
Yeah.
I'm separated from my wife.
That's what I was like, now the gloaters will come out.
Oh, yeah. Well, so, who cares? They're all jealous anyway.
Absolutely.
Just jealous of our careers.
They still don't have as good a relationship as you do.
I guarantee you, I still have a better relationship with my wife than most people sitting at home with their wives do.
Staying married, that's right.
That's the odd thing. Why don't we take a break? I'll take a break. Everyone will sit by.
See, even here we take breaks.
Right. Everywhere. Everywhere in life you take a break. People don't get that. Thank God for you.
Oh.
There was an internet poll. They say Fred's next. 42% of the people.
That was the other thing. Is there a domino effect?
Yeah.
This was due to the whole, everybody listen up.
One woman in the newspaper this morning, I don't know if you read this, said,
no.
I had this thought too. She said, I am really afraid. I believe there'll be an avalanche of separations because Howard Stern kept a lot of guys in line. They identify with him. Right. And even though, maybe things are rocky, they believe in staying with their wives.
You know what? Howard's really funny.
Yeah. I'm leaving you.
Howard did it. I'm doing it.
Yeah, so, if you have Mr. X and I, we're having a little conversation. All of a sudden we hit a little, separation agreement.
Right.
Let's work out the separation agreement right now.
You don't want to do that.
Oh, please.
Think of your cats.
You know what? I was going to say, are you leaving the dog?
I don't know. That hasn't been determined.
Oh,
No, don't talk to me about the dog. It's very emotional. What is it, Baba Boohai?
You know what? After you discuss your story, you really ought to go around the room and ask everybody what the conversation was in their household this weekend.
Yeah, why don't we do that?
John?
All right, wait, let's take a break. That's great.
I said, should I call? I didn't want to call anybody.
Now I'm Mr. X. All right, let's take a break. Obviously, everyone is having a lot of fun with this, except me. We'll take a break. We'll be back right after these words. Yankees, they seem to have been the news over the weekend. I seem to have been the focus of a lot of news.
Yeah, I hated it because every time, even like the all news channels, everybody was like, guess what?
Yep. Hey, guess what? Howard Stern's life is ruined. You know what was weird for me? I have never, ever imagined that this would happen to me. And
you're not the only one.
yeah, I know.
I mean, I still can't think of anything as anything but Howard and Alison.
Me neither. That's the thing, and it's...
And I know that if something bad were to happen tomorrow, the two of you would need to be together.
We would. So we don't even know what this means in terms of our future. We try to explain it to the kids, and it's all very confusing. It's a Twilight Zone episode now.
You couldn't explain it to me. How are they?
I haven't cried since college, and I just spent the whole weekend crying, and it's tough stuff. It's tough stuff, but because I got a great family, I got a great wife. I mean, I'm really torn up about it. So, but this crap happens. We did the whole marriage therapy thing. Remember, I kept telling you I'm seeing 2 shrinks.
Oh yeah.
Well, that was the second shrink, and I don't know. Things just sometimes get into a rut, and I take most of the blame because I'm a workaholic. I do work all the time, and when I'm not working, I'm hiding in my basement trying to recover from working. And I'm pretty much hidden from life, but I don't think it's easy to be married to me. I'll tell you that's the truth. And, I was reading these articles in the newspaper about me.
You think it's easy to be married to Jackie?
I don't know. You know what?
Somebody else who's a picnic in this room.
But can I tell you something? I don't think any marriage is easy. No. I mean, I know that. And I can't imagine being married to Jackie with his disgusting habits. But the fact of the matter is, Jackie is more of a participant in life than I am. And I can imagine a woman would find that exciting. No.
Okay. But I'm not either.
You're not either what?
You're not either what?
I work a lot, too, believe it or not.
I don't believe that.
I know you don't.
I've seen you.
Yeah, I'm working on the jetty.
But now you think it's garbage. It takes a lot of work to put
Jackie's
garbage.
Good, I'm glad this happened to Howard. I just wish I had half his money. I deserve it, not Alison.
Well,
I came in this morning.
I'm the whole show.
I walked in and they did 10 minutes on me because nobody wants to get... Fred hasn't said one word to Howard in his own voice about this so far.
Right. Fred was very nice. He came in this morning and told me how... he was very sorry. I thought I'd get a note or something from Fred, but...
I definitely would.
But then I realized this is a guy who doesn't even speak to his nephew.
I was away.
Pete, when did you find out?
I found out I was in San Francisco over the weekend, and
that's not answering the question. They have no phones in
Saturday afternoon, and I was about to go to a gig.
Who told you, your wife?
Yeah. She was shocked.
She was?
Yeah, definitely shocked.
We're all shocked.
Saddened.
We're all saddened.
Actually, everybody was really kind of nice to me and very sympathetic and very sad for us, which that's all we feel is that we just feel like this is a great tragedy.
Loss.
And we feel like we're in a funeral because it was weird. Phone calls were coming into the house all weekend. Friday night we told the press, we told the kids and stuff, and our kids had known for a while that, things weren't doing too good. But we didn't want them to have to sort of live a secret. And we told the press, that's the reason we told them, because we wanted our kids to be able to talk to their friends about it, because that helps kids through stuff like this. And Saturday we went to my mom's house, me, Alison, and my daughter Ashley, and
I thought about your parents too.
Yeah, it's tough on them, but it was my mom's birthday and my niece Sharon, so we went to my sister's house, all of us together. That's what I'm trying to tell you, that we actually still continue to have a great relationship in many ways. Which is very confusing to everyone, our friends, our kids, and to us.
Right.
We're just very confused.
And very scary to most people because if you two can't.
Yeah. And quite frankly, I haven't been on my own ever. I left my parents' house. I met Alison when I was 19 in college, and we've been together ever since. And, this is a very strange reality.
How are you going to get anywhere?
I don't know.
Alison gives you directions to everything.
In fact, Alison and I went out Saturday night, and she had to get me to my sister's house, told me how to drive there, and then I had to take the kids. I had to take the kids 3 blocks from my house, and Alison had to write down how to get there.
Yeah.
Right. So this is a very, very strange situation to be in, and it's very public, and to say that I'm depressed would be an understatement.
You know what? I think a lot of celebrities oftentimes don't make it through a situation like this because of the public scrutiny.
Yeah,
Whereas a normal couple, that can quietly do this and take care of what they need to take care of, then they can go on with their lives.
That's a good point. I just hope that, people just back off my wife, back off the kids, and back off me. I know people are going to rib us and stuff or whatever, but, if we get a little breathing room, maybe things will just be all right. At least we can make it comfortable for the kids.
Say, could you please honor our privacy? This is a very painful time.
I now understand that.
Yeah, I was like, oh, those words have new meaning.
They have new meaning. Like, you live long enough, you actually become sensitive. Because there's one guy in the newspaper. I forget which paper it goes. It says here, according to the press release, it's an amicable split-up. Even Howard Stern would laugh at something like that. There's no way he gets along with his wife. And I went, nah, you got it wrong. It is amicable. It's a little too amicable. In fact, some of the marriage therapists say it's better off if you fight. We're not fighting.
Well, that's, because I'm sitting driving in, I'm going, there's nothing wrong.
Well, that's what my niece came over. My niece Pam came over last night. She goes, I don't get it. You guys are like the greatest couple I've ever known. And in fact, you're my role model. That's the only reason I get married, because based on your marriage. I said, well, we still have a great relationship. We spent the whole weekend together with our kids. We're just having a tough time being married right now. And whatever that is. What can I tell you?
Because I've never known what that is.
Marriage?
Yeah.
No.
I really don't know what that is.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know
obviously I don't either. That makes two of us.
What you people are doing?
Let's ask Jackie and Fred. They're married. What's it like being married? Jesus. Scott, the engineer, comes in this morning. He goes, I don't know whether to congratulate you or... And I go, Scott, are you out of your mind? Do you think anybody wants this?
Jump on him and pummel him.
I go, Scott, you are a loser.
You bald bastard.
You bald bastard.
He didn't. He was like,
He goes, I don't know whether to congratulate you or...
Oh, my snickering.
I go, you got to be Scott.
It was like one time...
You got to be kidding me.
He's going to commiserate.
You've been through a divorce.
Really bad. When I got divorced, that was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Right.
So I know how... And I didn't have kids with that marriage.
It's a second. Growing hair was the hardest.
Yeah, growing hair was the hardest thing for you. Yeah.
Leap into my pool of misery.
So I know how you feel. I was just trying to...
You were trying to make a joke.
Welcome you to the pool of misery. You're right.
You know what? I said today I'm a bigger loser than you.
Yeah.
All right?
I was crushed when a 14-year-old girl left me.
Welcome.
Yeah, I married my wife when she was 14.
He's at the door of the losers club.
I'm the Jerry Lee Lewis of Queens. 15, she wanted to see the world. She left me.
No, I really feel bad.
Thank you.
I know it's really bad.
It is bad. It's the worst.
My current marriage, every marriage has its problems, and I've had problems as well.
That's shocking.
Wait a minute. What is this? A male
hey, Robin,
bonding?
We're in a tent. You better step out.
Get out of here.
No, every relationship has its rocky points.
Yeah, it's not easy, and you try to keep it together.
Although I would think being married to you're such a catch.
A dream.
Yeah. You're such a dream.
You just want to sleep all the time.
Like Brad Pitt, you're so hot. I think any woman could overlook any flaw you might have in your personality.
That's the problem in my marriage. The women keep coming on to me.
That's right. The temptation.
Yeah, I've seen some of those beauties.
My marriage has its downs and downs.
Just when you think it can get lower, another door opens.
Another trap door. Yeah, right through the bottom.
What the hell is this? What kind of cruel chill?
I'm in Australia. New level of low.
Well, let's go to the phones, and then we'll start reading the articles.
I want to hear what the people have to say.
And then we'll talk to everybody on the show and find out what
Is there anybody lining up to be, the first... what,
the first to, what?
The first date.
No. It ain't about that.
I thought they would be crawling out of the woodwork, too.
No. Nobody's crawling. I think crawling is me. Yes, Larry.
How you doing, buddy? Hey, listen, I just want to tell you, I'm a fan of your show. I love the show. We don't want to hear about your personal problem. I mean, we
sure you do.
Well, no, we don't. You know what I mean? That's your personal life. And
what do you want to hear?
What do you want me to talk about?
You're a good father to your daughters, and we just want you to tell everybody to kiss your ass. You do your job, and we're happy. You make us happy on the ride to work.
Thanks, Larry.
Hey, man, keep at it,
Thanks, man.
You're a good guy. We love the show. Robin, I love you, and that's Jackie.
Thank you.
Okay, pal.
We can all get together on that.
I could go on Sally Jesse Raphael now.
Oh, man, you don't want to do that.
You know what? I'd rather be shot.
That's right. You'll be drawn and quartered.
David, you're on the air.
Hi, Howard. I'm the astrology guy, and several...
What is the astrology guy?
I do astrological compatibility and...
How come every male astrologer is gay?
Oh, man.
Not true in my case, but...
Oh,
I
please.
Oh, come on.
Look in the stars, buddy.
David, you've never had given a man oral sex?
No, sir.
Really?
No, never.
All right. Because you sound kind of swishy.
You're actually with women?
Well, I'm divorced myself, but I did the compatibility...
I'm sorry. Go ahead. You have a point.
I did the compatibility between you and Alison several months ago.
Yes.
And I was going to call, but I didn't want to after I did it because I didn't want to be the one to tell you that although there's an aspect of lifelong love between the two of you, excuse me, I'm nervous, it is not a marriage. It's more of a great friendship, a business partnership.
You know what this guy's like? Remember the woman, Jean Dixon, who said that Kennedy was going to be assassinated?
After the fact.
After the
She
fact.
calls in and says, I tried to get to him.
My wife went to a psychic about 6 years ago, and the psychic said to her, my wife said, you know, none of this was going on. She said, well, you know, my husband and I be together for a long time. You know, will we live a long time? Yes, you both live in your 90s, and you are together for life. You have been married many times in the past, and you will be together until the very end. Well, good reading, you ass.
I would like
Can she get her money back?
Yeah, I'm suing.
That person.
I would like to help you find a true soulmate.
No, that's okay.
Who cares about you?
I'm not looking for any soulmate.
He'll do his own search.
Dude, you had your own divorce. What soulmate did you find?
Did you find someone else for yourself?
I'm still looking.
I know who my soulmate is. It's Fred.
I think this guy's volunteering to be your soulmate.
Yeah, really.
How do you help someone find their true soulmate?
How do I do that?
Sir, there is no such
Every
thing.
time you find somebody, he'll do their chart.
I found my true soulmate. It's my wife.
You and your wife do have a great love between you.
Oh, shut up.
Marriage.
You said that already.
You sound like my wife. Thank you.
I can explain a little bit about my astrology if you'd like.
That's all right.
Nobody cares.
Thank you. Josh, hi, you're on the air.
Hey, Howard. Listen, man, I feel really bad because, you know, my favorite movie is Private Parts.
Right. Yeah, that's the other thing. And you know what? Private Parts is the truth. I mean.
That's what I thought. I mean.
Well, it was.
It wasn't made up.
It wasn't made up. It's true.
It's an inspiration for me relationship-wise.
It's
one of those movies.
Don't watch it for that reason.
No, that isn't the main reason that I watch it.
Wait a minute, though. I mean, is it a real loss if you have that with somebody, even if it's only for a little while?
Well, that's what I said to my kids, and that's what my wife and I always say to each other. We have so many great years and such great kids between us that, you know, it's not a, you know, in many ways it's a failure, but I don't know, in a lot of ways.
You can't rack up the whole thing is a failure.
Right.
You got to take it year by year.
We had great years of happiness, and what's so painful is that we are still sort of happy together in a lot of respects. I know that sounds kind of weird, but I have no other explanation for it.
I have an explanation for it. It's that you guys are soulmates. I mean, this movie is one of those movies that I kind of watch and get depressed over. Because it's one of those sad movies that it's like, this is a perfect relationship. This is two people who mean so much to each other that how can you not, you know, because it's this kind of relationship that people envy. And I'm a person that envies it. You know, if you asked a lot of people who are fans of the show and who know you pretty well, I think that they would, if they were asked, what's the perfect relationship, they'd say, well, it's Howard and Alison Stern. I mean,
in fact, you were voted.
Well, sure. And meanwhile, Glamour magazine last month said we had the greatest likelihood of longevity in any marriage.
And there's still that possibility.
Yeah, well, you know, I said, it's just a weird place for me to be in, and in many ways, you know, like even my mother said to me, she said, you know, I think you're going to spend the rest of your life looking for everything that you've had with Alison. You know, it's
if you lose it, you definitely will.
That's right.
What did I tell you when I first met the two of you?
What did you say? I thought you told me I was...
Never leave that woman.
Right, well...
I did. I said, you'll never find anybody who loves you the way she does.
Right.
Never. It's not possible.
What about you? You love me.
I love you, but it pales in comparison, and I love you a lot.
Right.
It pales in comparison to what she feels for you. I've never heard love expressed the way
really?
He would talk about you. Oh.
What about when Fred talks about me?
Fred, still, it's not as the same. In fact, that's when I knew, I was like, wow, I never heard anybody feel like that about another human being.
And we feel that way about each other. Very, very strange.
Well, you didn't say it. She did.
Well, you know I love Alison.
Of course I do. But I was just like, don't ever, ever, ever. You could never find that anywhere else.
All I know is I've been talking about this nonstop, and it's like...
You know, other people may love you, but they wouldn't have the capacity to love with which she has.
Right.
Hey, Howard, do you feel like you can talk to her about anything?
My wife?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's something that is priceless. I mean, like, I'm not trying to rub it in because I know you must really...
Yeah, I mean, no offense. It's like we're going through enough horror.
You.
Yeah, I mean, we know all this.
I know. I'm sorry. I really didn't mean to do that.
We've been through marriage therapy for a year.
I know. It's just, my friend and I we're kind of like walking around depressed all weekend because it just seems so unreal that this could actually happen.
It is. When I opened it, how old are you?
I'm 20.
Yeah. Wow. When I opened up the newspaper and I saw Howard and Alison, most people just don't get to see it this way, but it was like Howard and Alison call it quits after 21 years of marriage, and I went, whoa. I went, man, that just like so weird to be reading this stuff, and it's like you just want to keep it private, but you can't.
Well, I'll tell you, it wasn't real to me until I saw it in the paper.
Me too, and then when I saw it, I just closed the newspaper and I couldn't read it.
Yeah.
I didn't even want to look at it because it's just so goddamn depressing.
Oh.
Well, here's what's going to cheer you up. You're going to invite me up there, and we're going to party all week.
It's
so boring down here.
You know what I heard? One of the newspapers called Lonnie from Scores to interview him about this.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
He knows.
He knows plenty.
He knows the funny money.
Right.
Where's the trail of the funny money?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. How's that? Are people, like, really kind of ticking you off with talking about this?
I mean, you know what? I got to tell you something. People in our lives have been incredibly wonderful. I mean, the saddest conversation I had was with my father-in-law. And he said to me point blank, you know, you're still my son-in-law. And he's like one of the greatest guys I know. My in-laws are great people. They're the best people in the world. They really are.
Yeah. And
Alison is very close to my family. She considers them her family. So, we're just devastated. Our whole worlds are rocked. Because we affect a lot of people. We have so many family and friends, and all our friends called up and just said all the right things. For how sad they were for us, because that's how we feel. We feel sad. And the kids are very, very sad. Listen.
Yeah.
Think it'll be easy.
Keep your chin up about the whole thing. I really think that it's going to work out for the best. I mean, I know right now it's a really tough time. But the thing is that everyone who kind of got into the other side of Howard Stern, everyone, there are two Stern fans, in my opinion. They're the kind that listen for the lesbians taking their shirts off.
Right.
And they're the kind that think you're like them. And that's like the kind of fan that I am. I think that, I don't know, I just see a lot of myself in you, and I kind of understand your personality, or at least think I do. And I don't think this is going to last.
I'll tell you something. I was reading Andrea Peiser's column in the newspaper. She was like,
Andrea say?
Well, she's saying stuff like, hey, Howard, just get back with Alison because everybody relates to you guys. And I said, because she was kind of saying what this guy's saying. She's saying, hey, you're the everyman, and that's what we like about you.
Well, I was thinking that myself.
Right.
Like, what are we going to talk about?
Yeah. And I said, you know what? Like the everyman, most marriages are going through this right now.
Depending on what's going on.
Over 50% of the couples are divorced, and those that stay together, most of them are having some sort of weird situation at home. So, the fact of the matter is, I know other people are going through this. It's not any consolation for me because I can't believe I'm going through it. I just never wanted to be this guy. It's weird. And I used to read about somebody famous separating from their wife and stuff. I'd say, what a jerk, You could work it out. What an ass.
Yeah, look at it this way. You could be Kelsey Grammer. You're not Kelsey.
Well, it could be.
I could end up being Kelsey Grammer.
I won't be here.
Right.
No.
Thanks for your support.
I support you 100% from far away.
Right.
What?
I want to tell you that I think you're beautiful. I think you're like one of the coolest people in the world just because, I don't know, you're just awesome.
Thank you. But I don't think I could handle...
And Howard, just keep your chin up. I think everything's going to work out great.
Thank you.
I'm a big fan.
I couldn't handle the parade of bims. I'm sorry.
Honey, right now this ain't about you, okay? What you can handle. Right now it's about me.
I'm just telling you.
We understand.
I've thought about it.
We understand.
I can.
All right. You're my needs.
No. It's just, I don't think it would be good for you, and I couldn't watch it.
Right now, you know what? That's not really what I'm thinking about.
Good.
Right. Thank you, Robin.
I'm just saying, a lot of people are saying, well, what's he going to do now?
Oh, okay.
I don't want to know.
Don, you're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Howard. I just wanted to say how shocked and sorry I was to hear about that. You know, I woke up Saturday morning and heard that first thing on the news, and at first I thought it was a hoax. You know?
Yeah,
That's the best radio hoax ever.
Well, it is. See, I was just kidding. There you go.
It was all a dream.
I just want to goof on you guys.
That's funny.
It's not even April.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, if I do it in April, you'll all catch on.
Hope it doesn't change the show in any way, you know?
The show could be changed. We don't know.
Right.
We don't know what it'll be.
You're not thinking about, like, going out to L.A. now that you're separated or anything, right?
No. I got kids. What are you, crazy? I wouldn't go out there. What am I going to do? Wake up at 3? No, I'd have to wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning to do a show from L.A.
Oh.
I'm not doing that.
Oh, I thought maybe, you know, because you have all the TV stuff going on, that you might think about, you know, making that part of your life.
No, that ain't part of my life.
No. I hope everything
This is
works
just a
out
hoax. It's my way of announcing my third book, which will be out on the stands next week. I just needed some publicity real quick.
I just hope everything works out for you.
Everybody else was running for president.
Yeah, that was all taken, so I had to do something more extraordinary.
Oh, dear.
Right, thank you.
Okay.
I think I'm going to be nauseous.
Oh.
Oh. This has been such a bad nightmare this past year with all this. And this weekend was awful.
Don't belch at a time like this.
Well, it helps me.
Oh.
This isn't about you. This is about me and how I get through it.
I want you to help me at this.
What?
Don't parade no bimbos and don't bilch. I'll give you a can. I'm getting sick in nuts.
I'm
Hey, KC, could you bring the hot waters on, baby?
No, he's not going to.
Every half hour?
I'm too saddened and shocked.
I'm mourning out here.
I can't move.
That's right. I don't know what to do.
You know, one of the things I was talking about is the singing psychic did predict this. You got to give her a dip.
Wait a minute. She finally
got one right. Remember, she was doing her predictions about 7 months ago?
Uh-huh.
And she said
She sang.
someone on the show is going to get divorced.
You're not divorced?
No, I'm not divorced. Yeah, actually, that makes her wrong.
Well,
not yet. She's not right.
Right.
You better give her some leeway. She'll never be right.
Pretty close, but not right.
You were going to explain separation to me.
What do you want to know?
I just want to know what that means. I mean, where does that leave you?
In terms of?
Marriage, relationship.
We're legally separated. That means that in fact, some of the experts were actually congratulating us, if there's to be a congratulations in any of this nightmare, that we settled our differences through mediation.
Mm-hmm.
And,
yeah, they said that was unusual.
Yeah, and it shows you how well we get along, that we could actually, you know, one of my pet peeves is lawyers, particularly divorce attorneys, who, you know, by the time people get divorced, some of these high-profile divorces run into the $3 to $4 million range.
And not only that, people can't stand each other.
Yeah,
It escalates any hostility.
trying to stir up a hornet's nest.
And forget about wealthy people. What about, like, middle-class people who are literally bankrupted by divorce attorneys?
Yeah.
And I always said all along that if in any separation, I would love to give my money to my wife than some lawyer. You know, that kind of thing. So the fact that we had a mediation was very nice for our children. It's not a fighting, bickering kind of thing. And we were able to do that. And it means that you're not married, but you're not divorced. You're separated.
See, I don't know what that is.
I don't either. I can't even read the agreement, so I just don't even want to know what it is. I don't even want to know what I am.
Oh, dear.
It means that you're no longer a married couple.
See, I've never understood that. That's what that means?
Yeah.
But you're not divorced.
Right.
Well, what is...
You're legally separated. So you're not married, but you're not divorced. You're legally separated. And that's all that's all I know.
Jeez.
Yeah. Means I don't own my house anymore. Or
Well,
something
now,
like that.
do you have to knock?
Yeah, of course.
She can shoot you if you shoot.
Yeah, exactly.
See, that's weird, too. You have to knock on your own door.
Yeah, let's read some of these articles. So, the first article came out like Saturday, which was, you know, basically that I was...
The article was shocked.
Yeah, so then the next thing was the New York Post. The New York Post is weird because, you know what, actually all the newspapers were pretty kind about not showing up where I live and stuff, but they just keep printing my address and keep...
I know. I said, would you draw a map?
And I'm really angry at Rupert Murdoch because I understand a newspaper covers this kind of thing, but, you know...
What does where you live have to do with
we
it?
had to arrest reporters and stuff. I mean, it was just... They were just on... They were just there illegally, and it's just like they're. I don't understand Rupert Murdoch. I don't get him. I mean, it's like I'm even doing business with Rupert Murdoch right now. I'm in the middle of putting a show together for FX.
He's made a lot of money.
And I got really pissed off, and I said, I'm going to start putting cameras on him and his family, and I'm going to run it Saturday night on my TV show.
A couple of months ago, he went through this.
Yeah, I mean, and I understand covering it. Listen, I'm the first one to sit there and make fun of somebody who goes through this and does and all that kind of stuff, and I'm prepared for it. Mm-hmm. I know it. This is the very human side of my life, but what can I tell you? I don't get them, man. They're just relentless. It's weird. There was no.
He created this whole kind of journalism where you just bore into somebody's life till you can see their toenails.
Shouldn't I do that to him, though?
Yeah.
And give him some of his own medicine?
Sure.
All right, I'll work on it.
You've threatened before and always backed off.
Here's Dominic Barber, by the way.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
The contract is like it's an agreement. If you ever got divorced, that would be your agreement. So
right.
You don't have to litigate again.
I understand
That's what separation is.
Where does that leave you in terms of your fealty, if you will, to the other person?
No, you have no obligations to one
really?
Well, you don't fight anymore. There's no economic fight. That's all done. The custody's done. The visiting is done. It's the cleanest way, and if you ever want to go back, you rip it up. You sign a letter saying it's canceled.
And you can go back without having to go through.
Oh, yeah, you don't have to get married again.
Okay.
So,
But I have to tell you, as a fan and someone who loves all of you, listening, it's so surreal. It's scary.
It is, isn't it? I can't believe it's me.
And Robin, it's strange, but I don't know how to explain it. Because Irma and I, being with you, Howard and Alison, and with the kids, and listening to Robin also, I have to put myself in her shoes also, in that it's like, I don't know how to explain it.
Well, listen, it's very hard for me. And doing this show today is very, very hard for me.
I was going to say, don't you know you're supposed to do this when you're on vacation?
Yeah, but you know what? I didn't want to do that because then they just keep hounding my family and looking for some kind of comments. So now they're going to have all the comments they want. I've talked about it. What am I going to say? It's everything that we said in the press release. It's the saddest time in our lives. It's awful. Just the most awful thing. I don't want to be going through this. I don't want my kids going through this. I don't want Alison going through it. We just the two of us looked at each other, and after trying to work stuff out between us, and I admit I'm a distant guy. I mean, everyone who knows me knows I'm distant. My mother knows it. She knows I'm the type that sits at home. I sulk in the basement a lot. I mean, that's just me, and I work 24 hours a day, and I think I'm a tremendously difficult person to live with.
I know Alison once asked, because, she said, does he ever zone out on you when you're talking to him? I said, oh, yeah, all the time. She goes, well, what do you do when he does it? I said, ignore it.
Right.
But I said, you're in a different situation. You can't leave. You can't ignore.
Yeah. And, I've tried to, listen, we have tried so hard to work things out. We don't want to go through this in the worst way, and we don't want our kids going through it in the worst way. But we just came to a point where we even said, up until a few days ago, we weren't sure we were going to go through with this. We were literally going to we're such good friends, and we rely on each other for everything, and we talk on the phone constantly, and we're in the house together. We spent all weekend together. We spent the weekend...
So you're not leaving your house?
Yeah, I am, but I'm also not right now. It's too hard with the kids, and...
But psychologically, you really have to,
yeah.
It's not fair to the children
right.
to have what's called a de facto marriage.
Right. No, we know that. We know all that, Dominic. I mean, seriously, we do. But right now, because of the publicity around this and stuff, it's very difficult for us to go anywhere with the kids. And, we just want to make things comfortable for all of us. And, listen, I can't even believe I'm talking about this. It's just too weird, but what am I going to do? I'm on the radio, and if I don't talk about it, everyone will say, hey, man, you don't talk about it. So
you're treating yourself differently than you've treated everyone else.
So I'm here to say, look, this is going on in my life. I've been home crying all weekend about it, upset about it. I look at it in the newspaper, I don't even believe it's me. I see a picture of my wife in the newspaper today, and a bunch of psychologists telling me what's breaking up my marriage, and, and Andrea Pizer chiming in about how, I'm whatever I am. I'm not even sure what her point is, but
Just go back is what she's saying.
she should just go back. Even though, maybe my wife don't want me back, Andrea. You know what I'm saying? They always assume it's the guy.
Yeah.
But,
You're the victim.
Howard, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Do you sometimes wonder what's real and what isn't anymore?
What do you mean by that?
Well, like
Dominic, you might be having a schizophrenic
I
break.
think you're really affecting Dominic more.
Well, what do you mean what's real and what isn't real?
Well, like the radio show, you're now discussing your life. Is that become more real than your life?
Well, I know what he's kind of saying. Oh, I really don't know what he's saying.
Well, I'm almost
We're almost there. Are you on a sugar high?
No, I didn't eat yet, but soon
All
I
right.
will be.
Maybe you're
Maybe you're
insulin deficient.
No,
Now, what do you mean? I mean, what am I going to do? I mean, I'm a public guy. I mean, I talk about everything on the radio. How can I not talk about this?
No, I don't mean it as a criticism.
Right.
I mean, like, Robin is really, as we all are, into the suffering, into the pain.
I'm not. And what?
Well,
No, he's right. Go ahead.
Please.
No, Robin, what I mean is, aren't you suffering from this a little bit also?
I don't think I'm suffering, no.
Hurting for how?
You want to know something,
I hurt
Dominic?
for him, but I'm not suffering.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, even my mother said that. She goes, the only people who are hurting right now are you and your family. It's not. It's,
Yeah, I wouldn't even forget that. That's not even possible.
I'll tell you, Jackie's not suffering.
We're hurting for you, Howard.
It is sad. It is, but it is sad.
You know what?
Hold
Jackie
on a minute,
would
hold on a
never
minute.
have been married without your marriage.
As far as calling you up, do you ever have with a friend and somebody in their family dies and you don't know?
Yeah.
Do you make the call? And
Well, you know
one
what?
more person calling them up?
I never would have thought that, like, you guys should call me or anything because you want to be alone and stuff. But every one of, like, my wife's friends called and, like, offered comfort. My phone didn't ring once.
That I feel bad.
Well, see, I thought your phone would be ringing off the hook.
No, the only friends I have are you guys.
I swear to you, I said, I'm not going to add to the barrage of callers.
But you know what? I'm glad you didn't because, you know what?
Right, one more person to explain.
Really, because I thought if you have a moment to yourselves, you need it.
Yeah.
So it was a conscious decision.
Well, me and my daughter just sat down and watched Popular. We taped that show. And that was, like, the nicest moment of the weekend because we could just sit and watch TV and pretend this wasn't going on. It's real tough. It's tough. It's the toughest thing. It's so emotional. It's just emotional. What can I tell you?
Popular was the episode where the girl sees her parents getting it on.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Well, we don't care.
But I'll tell you, Howard, you came on the air today and you're really saying it all. And Irma and I just want to wish you no pain.
All right,
and
thanks,
Alison
Dominic.
and the kids, too. We love you.
Thank you, Dominic.
Bye-bye.
All right. He's a good guy.
Papa, I'm hungry.
He's probably going to go eat. I hope he does. I wish him no pain not eating.
The other thing is, I thought about calling Allison, and then I thought, well, geez, I don't even know.
Allison wants to speak to you, actually. Yeah. But, you know what? She was on the phone with it. We had relatives calling, and and I spoke to my brother-in-laws and my sister-in-law, and we all just...
Ugh.
Like my father-in-law said to me over the weekend, he said, if I was there, I'd kick both of you in the ass.
Right.
You know, so.
Yeah, that's what you want to do, is want to shake you.
Shake us up, but what are you going to do?
And then, people around me were... Because I was really, when I saw it in the paper, I swear to God, I got really upset.
Yeah.
And they were like, what's the big deal? And I'm like, leave me alone. I just feel... I know they're going through hell at this point.
So, I got to take a break. And then I'll read these articles, and we'll, we'll figure it out. Yes, go ahead. You're on the air. I got to take a break, Kevin. Go fast.
Hey, how you doing? So who you sleep with this weekend? Anybody? Yeah, broads?
I had about 10 broads this weekend. No, man, I slept with my...
Talk about it.
I tell you what,
to get divorced.
I slept with my wife this weekend.
What?
My wife and I was with my wife and my kids all weekend.
All right, well, who's the first girl going to be? Come on, let us know.
Dude, it's so not about that. I know you think it is, and I know it appears that way because we have so many chicks.
You got to take advantage.
Well,
this is your...
I'll tell you one thing, man. You go through something like this, you ain't thinking about chicks too much right now.
Yeah, well, I'm
all right.
I haven't gone through anything like this. But, yeah, you got to be thinking of chicks. We all know who you are.
All right.
We know what's on your mind.
I always think about chicks. I love chicks.
You got to get on somewhere.
There's only one chick for me, and that's Robin. Thank you.
Yeah, me too.
So we haven't talked about conversations in everybody's house.
Yeah, why don't we do that next and read the articles on the air? And also, not on this topic about me, but Melrose Larry Green has tape of Pete Rose getting the crap beat out of him last night in an interview.
Did you see that?
I didn't see it, so I want to hear it.
Oh, man, it was like the guy would not let up. Here's Pete having a nice evening.
Yeah, so we'll do this right after we get back.
Tennis legend Jimmy Connors meets the stuttering John.
Hey, Jimmy, what did you do with the bag?
What bag?
Or the bag you used to put over Chris Everett's head?
I think we better get to business here, but we have to take care of it. Thank you very much.
Game, set, match. Stuttering John. You're listening to Howard Stern. Never. Now.
Testing. 1, 2.
Now, back to the Howard Stern Show. 95X. Turn it up.
For our last exercise, let's kick out the king.
The Howard Stern Show.
All right. We're back. I got a rabbi coming in here today to talk. This is the rabbi who took Michael Jackson to the temple.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, he'll come in a few minutes. We'll do a quick interview with him because I know people just want to talk about me and my misery.
Yeah, I mean, who cares about that at this point?
Right. It's a bad day for him to come in because I got to do short shrift with the rabbi.
This is almost like, one of those situations like the space shuttle blowing up.
Yeah.
They're all about that.
Yeah. This is a show where people really want to know what's going on with me. Quite frankly, I want to know what's going on with me.
Space shuttle blowing.
Well, you can't talk about anything else. Who cares if you had somebody booked to talk about their movie?
Yeah, in fact, you know what, Gary? You ought to rebook Percy Ross, who's calling in. Although I do want to talk to that guy. That's the guy who gives away money?
Oh,
Maybe he can give you some.
I heard he ran out of money.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's giving it all away.
Oh! Just my luck.
He's giving away all his money. I think he gave it all away. Well, maybe keep him booked.
And the only reason I left it, Howard, is because it's, later on in the show, I figured I wasn't sure we'd still be discussing it by that time.
What am I going to do with the rabbi? All right, we'll ask him. We'll do 5 minutes with the rabbi.
It could get old by then.
I thought he was here to counsel you. I saw a rabbi.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Is he like a real rabbi with the payas and
the whole thing.
All right, here. Let's start by reading some of these articles. Let's get to what we want to talk about.
All right.
All right, so then Saturday, I figured, what are these newspapers going to write about? Because really, you issue a press release, and the press release kind of says it all. But then the Post, they can carry a story for a week.
They got an angle on everything.
Someone said to me, the Post really hates you. Mm-hmm. I said, I know, I don't know why. I just don't know what I did to them, but...
I don't know who's running the thing now.
All right. Experts say crass act cracked marriage. Loudmouth Howard Stern's lewd and lascivious radio routine helped kill his 2-decade marriage to wife Alison. But that makes you feel old. 2-decade marriage.
Jeez.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah. Marriage counselors said this yesterday. So they went and interviewed a bunch of marriage counselors.
Right.
Okay, great. I've been a marriage counselor. Don't work.
Yendes.
When counselors gave the celebrity ex-couple high ratings for keeping lawyers out of the breakup and settling everything face-to-face for the sake of their 3 kids. Evidently, that's some kind of major... First of all, this has sent a shudder through every lawyer in the country.
Well, nobody knows you can do this.
Yeah, you can do it.
Everybody thinks you need to go to a lawyer.
My wife and I looked at each other and said, hey, we don't want to sit there and have 2 people, basically charging us a lot of money for what we basically know the outcome will be.
Right. Because I was like, oh, really? You can do that?
Yeah, we didn't want to be like, Ron Perlman sitting fighting in the newspaper so everyone could,
Or 7 years later, still having your things.
Right. Yeah. We don't want to go through any of that. We care too much about each other. And Dr. Robert Butterworth, an L.A.-based therapist, said Stern's look but don't touch sexcapades with models, porn stars, and actresses took a toll on his personal life. The beauties killed the beast, quipped Butterworth. It must be hard to be Howard Stern with all those beautiful women coming up to him all the time. My gut reaction is that he was probably tempted by all the babes. Well, dude.
does he know?
He didn't know anything.
He's in L.A.
Yeah. Butterworth ridiculed the couple's official statement that the separation was amicable. Now, it is. Why was I spending all weekend in my house with my wife? It is amicable. You can't.
How are you going to prove it to him? He says he doesn't care what you say. He knows you're lying.
Right. I mean, who is this guy? What are me and my wife doing at a party Saturday night with my daughter? I mean, listen, it's no picnic. We look at each other. There's a lot of pain there. I mean, we look at each other and we just can't believe it's happening. Neither can anyone else. But we're mature enough and sort of best friends enough to. We have kids together.
Well,
and
quite frankly, I see some. That's what makes you think a lot of times that marriages are based on the wrong thing, because people go after each other with such a viciousness.
Right.
You wonder how they could have ever been married in the first place.
I know.
At least this you understand.
Yeah, we don't feel that way about each other. And despite the babe theory of Mr. Butterworth, it was more the workaholic aspect of my life and the fact that my mother said, gee, your whole life you've always kind of needed a whole bunch of time to yourself, and you've always, you weren't working, but you always needed to sort of sit
There are people like that. Yeah.
and be alone.
Yeah, I'm one of them.
I know. So you can certainly understand it, and I think that's what did in my marriage.
Yeah.
I think that I do work a tremendous amount of hours. I think I am married to my career in many ways. I think that it's hard for anyone to be in a relationship with me because I demand a lot of free time, and I think that did us in. But I don't know. That's my theory. And I don't think my wife would take much argument with that.
I used to say, I don't know how you do it, because we do work incredible hours, especially, like times when we were doing the Channel 9 show, we're doing the movie. Nobody sees us. Nobody hears from us. And you would somehow try to find a way to keep people in your life. And I was like, man, I'm exhausted. How's he doing that?
Well, I wasn't. That's the problem. The problem was I'd go home.
I saw you make a phone call. I thought that was
right.
incredible.
Like I'd go home on a Friday night, and all I want to do is sit in front of the TV and sleep.
Right.
Saturday, same thing. And Sunday, I like to get on my computer and start writing for the show and figure out what I'm going to do. And I've got other commitments, with these TV shows I'm doing in Los Angeles. And I'm not complaining. I like doing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that when you're trying to hold a relationship together,
doesn't leave much.
It's a drag, and, listen, I love my kids more than anything in this planet, and I love Alison more than anything on this planet. That's what's so odd about it. But
I would, we'd be leaving the Channel 9 taping at 11 o'clock at night on a Friday after working all week.
Yeah.
And I said, man, he's going home to a house full of people. I'm going home to, like a bubble bath.
Yeah, I know.
It's amazing.
And listen, I don't think any woman wants to hear that, I don't want to do anything Friday. I don't want to do anything Saturday. I don't want to do anything Sunday. When are you going to have some time for me? When are you going to be a husband? When are you going to, and my wife is so right on about this stuff. She can't be in a relationship alone, and I guess, I don't know, couldn't hold it together. So we're taking a break.
So what else?
So Butterworth ridiculed the couple's official statement that the separation was amicable. Wait, John Popper's on the phone. He wants to chime in. John Popper, Blues Traveler.
Howard, how you doing?
Hey, man.
I just heard about it. I feel terrible.
Yeah, well, I feel pretty terrible, too.
Where are you?
I'm on a bus on my way to Portland.
Oh, how'd you hear about it? You just tuned in?
Well, yeah.
He had 7 groupies on top of him, so he didn't get the word till late.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I guess now you and me, we can work on our womanizing together.
I don't think so, bro.
Man, I just feel terrible about it.
Thank you.
God, I just, my prayers are with you, and I really just hope that you get through this, and I know you're gonna, but it's just gonna suck for a while, and...
Well, you separated from Blues Traveler. I guess me and my wife separated. You're used to it. Same deal.
Well, but the difference is, I guess neither of us were getting sex from them.
The sex wasn't the problem.
Man,
all right, thank you, man.
Be a good dad, and, I love you, man.
He is a good dad.
No, I'm a good dad. There's no question about that.
Yeah, and just keep doing that, and you're doing everything you can, and, I'm just really sorry, man.
All right, thanks, John. I appreciate your kind words. Thank you.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm. So it's always good to hear from a celebrity. Chime in on my relationship.
Celebrity.
Fellow celebrity.
But, those are those guys with no relationships, those vapid, surfacey kind of another girl every week relationships. They look to you and they go, man, I wish I had what you had.
Right.
And they used to say that.
Right. Neil, what is it?
Howard. Big time fan for many years.
Thank you, Neil.
Fan. I love you. Love Robin. F. Jackie.
Right.
Listen, I got something to tell you, man. A long time, I know you've had thoughts about it, but you love your wife. A lot of times it's the money, giving up the house, giving up half the money. Now you have enough money where you can give up half the money and still it might be bearable. Well, I'll tell you what. If you're going to lose half the money anyway, you have to make a decision. Give up the career. Give up the career right now. And then on the half of money that
Dude, giving up my career would make me more miserable. Are you crazy?
You'll have your wife.
Get out of here. That doesn't solve a marital problem, you dope.
Well, you say one of the problems is you can't spend time with her.
No. This is who I am. I am a guy. If I had no job, I would sit in a room by myself anyway. I'm very withdrawn. I know that. Listen, I've been through a year and a half of marriage therapy. I know I'm withdrawn. This is the way I was in high school. This is the way I was as a kid. And listen, my wife knew this about me, and we've always been able to work through it, and it isn't working right now. That's all. If I quit radio tomorrow, I don't think it would solve our problem. Get out of here. I'm not quitting my job, you nut. What am I going to do? I'll sit home?
Give up the career.
Give up your career. What do you think I am, a chick? A man gives up his job. I'll sit home? What? I'll be what?
Mr. Mom.
Mr. Mom? Think I'd be happy doing that? That would end every marriage. The guys had to do that. Stay in the house all day.
I was just reading about one of the QVC women. They say the secrets of the QVC hosts, and one of them, her husband gave up his career and he became Mr. Mom.
Yeah, isn't that great? Who wants to do that's a chick's thing. I don't do that.
Oh, she's the woman who has everything.
If someone goes, quit your job. I'm like, well, gee, that'll take away my whole entire identity. I'll walk around. Then I'll be on suicide watch.
I was like, that guy couldn't have been too happy with what he was doing.
Listen, I can't give up my job. Look at the important work I'm doing.
Well, when they said it was his workaholic, I said, he's not curing cancer.
Right. I'm producing a cartoon. That's important work.
I said, wait a minute. I can understand it if he was, Jonas Salk, you say his work got in the way.
You know what? I got 1 year to get that cartoon on UPN.
I said, this is kind of frivolous work.
All right, Butterworth ridiculed the couple's official statement that the separation was amicable. Well, Mr. Butterworth is completely wrong on that count. If another celebrity were saying that, Stern would be criticizing them for it. Well, no, I wouldn't. I'm telling you it's true. Does Howard Stern think we're stupid?
Well, unfortunately, most celebrities are lying when they say that.
He's hypersexual and his profession is hazardous to his marriage. That's Butterworth. Dr. Alice Stevens, a Manhattan counselor. By the way, I'd like to see where all these people graduated from.
Some credentials.
Yeah, where's the credentials? Where'd you get that doctorate from? Glassboro Community College? Yeah. Dr. Alice Stevens, a Manhattan counselor, said that while Alison probably became immune to Stern's on-air antics, the raunchy routines still drove a wedge between the couple. My guess, these are people who never met me.
No.
My guess is that it must have been very difficult for his wife to sustain her feelings with him when everything was fodder, everything was exposed. She probably insulated herself in a certain way, but with that, by the way, none of these articles are helping me because my wife will read and go, yeah, that's right. She probably insulated herself in a certain way, but with that has to come a deadening of feelings so that she could tolerate what he was doing to their relationship. Stern turned his love affair with Alison, whom he married 21 years ago, in a wildly successful film, Private Parts, but one expert said the details of their breakup would make for a very dull plot. This guy had it right. Relationships fail on things that wouldn't make a great movie. Everyday kinds of things. And in my view, it's practically always about intimacy. And he's right. Says Dr. Joel Block, who works in Dix Hills. Stern's incessant ogling of bare-breasted women and his endless comments about which celebrities he would bet if he were single had to wear on his wife, said Dr. Patricia Farrell. And that wasn't the problem in our marriage.
Well, unfortunately, all these people are bringing what would bother them.
Right. They don't even get it. Howard had the best of both worlds, and I don't think his wife has. I think that probably it reached a point where she couldn't tolerate what he was doing, and he couldn't stop doing it because it was part of his act. Well, Throughout his marriage, that would make a good part of a movie, you see. This is a therapist as a screenwriter. In a nutshell, man, I stayed in my basement. I didn't take her out enough and stuff. I'm a crummy spouse. I'm a burnout. Always have been. Guys are all looking to create some sort of story. Something exciting.
It was good and you messed it up.
Right. Throughout her marriage to the self-proclaimed king of all media, Alison appeared to handle Howard's bathroom barbs with good humor, except when he mentioned her miscarriage on the radio show. You know, that was one thing. The couple spokesman, Dan Flores, I'm just skipping over some stuff.
Yeah.
This is boring. Dan Flores would not discuss details of any financial settlement, saying only that they have settled all their concerns. Meanwhile, media analysts wondered what the split would do to Stern's carefully crafted image of a crude-minded cretin. Howard Stern's persona is very well served by the counterbalance of people knowing he's a happily married family man. You know, every time I do something, they always say it's going to affect my career. Who the hell plans that? I was a happily family man because I was happy.
They say you crafted that.
Yeah, I crafted it. I got married.
Everybody's always thought that you sit around thinking up this stuff instead of just, this is your life.
Yeah.
And you're making do with it.
And now here's my life. I'm separated. Great. There's a danger of him losing that balance. He's lost a certain level of license to play the game that he plays so well. Oh, let's see. Bob Grant, a fellow radio gabber and occasional guest on Stern's show, said he was surprised the split didn't come sooner. Thanks. The temptation has been too great, said Grant. I would predict that somewhere down the line she'll go her way with half of his money, and he'll go his way with half his money and all the broads he wants. Bob Grant.
Deep thinker.
I think Bob's thinking about getting some broads.
He's hoping you call.
We'll double date.
Get your leftovers.
Yeah. That'll send women running from the room.
Yeah, to slow him down, you keep Bob at the door.
Keep him by my side so I look good. Garner, you're on the air.
Hey, I think you're full of crap. This is fake.
What?
This is all ratings. It's for sweeps.
Right.
Get ready for sweeps.
You caught on.
Yeah, exactly.
You're absolutely, thank you for busting me. April Fools, everybody.
Every time something terrible happens in your life, it's considered a hoax.
When I got fired from NBC, the press would not report on it because they thought they were being hoaxed.
No, this is.
Dude, have you ever known me to hoax anybody?
You know you're not going to get out there because you're going to get out there and lust after all these women like you always say, and then you're not going to do anything, and then you're going to be the big pussy that you are.
Well, at first you said it was a hoax, now you're telling me I'm a pussy.
No, you won't do it because then you would be seen as a pussy. Because you lust after him, and you know you get out there, you'd be...
What is he talking about?
I have no idea.
I know you're trying to say something, but it's just completely bizarre. You stupid ass.
Saying?
No. It's totally fake because you know if you got out there and you were going to go date, you'd be too scared of germs. You wouldn't want to put your face down on some chick.
You got that right.
Damn it. There's no way.
Who is this, Hulk Hogan? All right, thank you. Understood.
You made sense.
Seth, hi. You're on the air. Seth? Mm-hmm. No, Seth.
Hey.
Hey.
Dude.
Yeah.
So I have two basic predictions for you.
Okay.
All right.
What are your predictions based on?
The first is that predictions based on like 15 years of listening to you guys.
All right.
All right. The first is that Alison is going to get about 10 times as many guys as Howard gets women.
No, she's not, in the agreement, she's not allowed to date.
What are you talking about?
Not only will Alison get more guys than you get girls.
Great.
Alison will get more guys than Nancy Sirianni is getting when Jackie's at work.
Really? No, they've calculated that that's impossible.
Oh, okay.
All right, thank you.
So you had a head start.
But here's my second prediction. This one's even better. Right around the time that Alison's settling around with like an investment banker or like a 19-year-old listener who looks like Brad Pitt,
right?
You're going to get really wretchedly sick of missing her. And you're going to start doing increasingly pathetic things to get her back.
Like make a tape?
Make a tape?
Yeah, like...
I was thinking about playing Gary's tape today.
But
you know, my professional life is a 9.
Where are you in that scenario?
I have just bought a video camera. Funny.
No, what is your professional life at?
My professional life's at a 9.
And what's your personal life at?
I have a 4. And you gained a lover and lost your best friend. And I gained some lovers, but no, excuse me, I got one lover.
But I got a new shirt. Don't deflect this mess to me.
Hey, Gary, can you help me make a tape?
I can give you all the tips you want, but it didn't work.
Right.
I have my index cards. I'm ready to talk.
Yeah,
Don't be so hard on yourself. It worked for like 3 days, didn't it? Didn't you get it back for 3 days?
Yeah, it worked like 9 months later.
Yeah. See, so something you didn't
Yeah, set up a video camera in your kitchen, grow your hair long, and act like an idiot.
Thank you. Done with him.
So anyway, what was the conversation when people found out?
What do you mean?
What did Jackie and Nancy say to each other?
I'm glad. Serves them right.
When did you find out, Jackie?
I found out about 7 o'clock Saturday night.
And who told you?
When I went downstairs and bought a paper.
Uh-huh.
I'm a little disappointed. It was less prominent in the news than I thought. I mean, it took people a long time to find out.
That's because it was so... If it had been on the front page where it was supposed to be, everybody would have been talking about it.
I didn't realize till Ganji just showed me the paper, because I bought the paper on Saturday morning. I didn't realize that it was theoretically the front page of the Post.
Yeah, it was. But there was a special Yankees section. Thank God for the Yankees.
Page 20 after you get past the Yankees section.
What is it, Johnny boy?
No, I thought you were going to talk about...
All right, so let's go back to Jackie.
Yes,
so when did you find out?
I think it was Saturday night, and...
Where were you?
I was at Atlantic City. I slept all day Saturday.
So you weren't with Nancy?
No, she's out at Canyon Ranch.
And you know he...
separated anyway.
Yeah, right. They're legally separated. But you want to know something? He doesn't listen to the radio.
Yeah.
He doesn't read any newspapers.
Right.
So how would he know?
Jackie called
But
me,
it
I
was
think.
everywhere. Oh, he said...
You didn't know?
I found out Saturday morning. Stein called my house when I was sleeping and told my wife. I told it was very sad. My initial reaction was I was very sad for you.
Thank you. No, it is sad. I heard that you got into a fight.
But like then, of course, at night I'm arguing with my wife over the whole thing.
Your wife figured out how to turn it into an argument.
Yes.
My separation turned into an argument.
What are they arguing about?
Because, Scott and I had a party on Saturday night, and a lot of the discussion between everybody was like, everyone was happy, but one of the discussions was, hey, Howard has a chance to bang a lot of women. Obviously that's like going to come up.
Right.
And it came up again with some friends who were at my house, and that discussion came up again. And then it was just like...
You know what, I'm not going to get any women, because you know what, everyone expects me to be out there banging a lot of women. What women want to be with me? I'm banging so many women.
That's right. They don't want to be on your list.
And I got to tell you something, when you go through something like this, man, you ain't thinking about... As odd as this is to say, and I guess only people who go through it would know this, you ain't thinking about banging anybody right now.
I was contemplating calling you, but I don't think you'd want to hear it from me. But
I'm glad you didn't call.
Yeah.
Because you know what? If I got to sit there and commiserate with you, my wife got calls from she has such bright friends. They're all psychoanalysts. They're lawyers. They're,
And you got a call from Stuttering
I get a call from like Stuttering John and Ralph.
The only number.
Hey man, how's it going? We're doing ecstasy tonight. If you want to, and I'm over at the drag queen. She's dyeing my hair blonde.
See his hair now, Howard?
No.
It looks painful.
Really?
It's like white blonde.
I don't know. Listen, what does he have to do all
totally
that?
But wait a minute, I want to hear...
I want to know what the argument was about.
Yeah, what was the argument?
Then it was like, how could you think that he's not going to go bang women and all? And it's just
Who said that? Susanna?
Yeah,
what is your wife's name?
Susanna.
Yeah,
she was all like, whatever, women meat to you? Is that all it's about? Just, women being meat and how just going to bang women? And it's the whole thing.
Hey, am I a guy, seriously, Robin, can you answer this question? Am I a guy who treats women like meat? I mean, a 25-year relationship.
I was treating them like meat.
Why do I get pinned with that?
It wasn't you, because I said, or at some point during the discussion, that, is he going to date? And now it's like, it's about...
This thing was so not about dating, and despite these experts, it was so not about the chicks. It was more about...
your actual relationship.
Yeah.
It's about time, right?
Right. It's about time and your goals for the future and how you want to spend that time together. I mean, listen, my wife wants a partner who, and rightly so, man. I don't fault my wife at all. My wife, rightly so, wants a partner who can take the kids places, can go on vacations with them. And quite frankly, I'm the type of guy who goes, I'm not going anywhere. My wife goes to, weddings by herself and
Can I ask you a question, Howard? I mean, you wouldn't be able to change and just go out? I mean,
well, we were working on that and stuff, but
it's a matter of also comfort. I mean,
it's a matter of you want a partner who wants to do stuff like that.
Right. If he's terribly uncomfortable, who wants to drag around a
dead weight?
Who's not having a good time?
Yeah, actually, Alison's complaints have been well documented on the show.
Well, listen.
Because you carry your TV from room to room. Remember the old days when you used to carry your TV and plug it in different rooms when her family came over?
Yeah, I know. I mean, the fact of the matter is, as someone said to me last night, Fran Trey said, it doesn't come as much of a shock to me because she said that, I know as Alison gets older and you get older, she was going to want different things than you wanted.
Right.
And that's all it comes down to. And you know what? Her life isn't going to change much because my wife hasn't had a partner in the sense that a lot of married couples have partners. Like even Gary in your marriage, I know that you and your wife...
They work things out.
Well, you go places together, you do stuff together, and I'm one of these people who doesn't do a lot of stuff and doesn't want to go anywhere with anybody. And I swear to you when I tell you I love my wife, I love her to this day, and I'll probably love her for the rest of my life. And the fact of the matter, if you know, I shouldn't bust my balls too bad. And
you still love her.
I still love her. And the fact of the matter is she loves me very much. And that's why we just spent the whole weekend together. And we're with my parents, and we had a party and everything. I know that's not a party about this, a party for my mother's birthday. Right. There's a lot of love between us. And she recognizes that, you can tell I've been through therapy, but she recognizes that as a couple, she wants some of the traditional things that couples have. You know, that a lot of couples have. And it's not asking a lot. But I'm one of these...
Most people, it's sort of normal.
That's what you do with a wife. Yeah. You're supposed to be going places. You're supposed to be participating in your wife's life.
So it has nothing to do with the radio show or anything?
No, I mean, listen, in a way it does. Listen, I admit that I don't go to a lot of places because it becomes draining dealing with a public persona.
Well,
but I've often said, if I wasn't famous, I still would probably be the same kind of guy. I don't think I'd be going anywhere.
That's absolutely true.
Well, I think
because there's so much, there's a lot of excitement. You know, there's a lot you get out of this that other people don't get from their work, and they find it in their personal life.
That's true. That's very true. Yeah. And I know that I'm on overload. When I get home, I feel like I live one of the most exciting lives in terms of my work. And in terms of my career, and it's like you do get home and you're so overloaded that you just want to crawl into a shell and die. Right. But I even know that my personality is such that I would be that way. But Robin makes a good point.
Yeah, I wonder about that sometimes because I don't ever want to do anything.
Right.
And the people always say, I say, look, I had excitement.
Right.
I want to sit here quietly.
But I've never seen you as a person, even from the day I met you, which is like 16 years ago, who ever enjoy, you don't enjoy.
I don't enjoy anything.
You don't enjoy a party.
I'm not going to go into it too much, but the fact of the matter is, what I've been working on in the psychotherapy is the fact that I don't get a lot of enjoyment out of life. I don't. I'm a bit depressed.
But but it's funny.
And I think it's hard to be in a relationship with anybody who is like me. And despite Andrea Pizer's column, who, by the way, was somewhat complimentary, went easy on me, but the fact of the matter is, it's a little more complicated than just me looking for a BIM. You know, that's like, as she says, to be on my shoulder, you know, so that I could go do that kind of Playboy thing. That's not what this is about. It's about two people sitting down honestly and looking at each other and saying to each other, what are our goals for the future? Are you going to be able to change? Do you want to even change? Is it real for you to change? Can you somehow find enjoyment in going places and doing things? And right now I'm incapable of it. And I'm praying to God that, one day I will be sort of more present. But, right now it became so difficult that we decided that maybe separation would be best. Like maybe that would ease some of the tension and stuff. And maybe that would just give us an opportunity to live under some sort of new reality. I don't know. I can't explain it any better than that. And I'm so sad about it. I've never had sitting down with your kids and discussing this stuff, there's just no more horrible thing in the world you can go through.
I can't, but I've heard people talk about how it feels like such a failure.
It does.
Yeah, like.
You feel like a loser, man. Yeah. You feel like, well, this is my whole life, man. I've been doing this since I'm 19, being with Alison.
Because every time I get out of a relationship, I'm so happy.
Right.
This is something you really invested your time.
This is my life.
Yeah.
This is more than just give you back your key and be on the other side of the door.
What key? Nobody ever got a key.
Listen, I've even talked to people who just, like date people and they get a close relationship. They don't have kids or anything like that, and they don't even like the person, and it's traumatic.
Yeah. But, what I'm saying is I'm sort of like you. The person was there just for whatever, and then I was, glad to get rid of them.
Right. But even you're not a hurtful person. You don't want to hurt that person, even if you don't like them anymore.
Well, that's why I hardly had any relationships. Right. People used to wonder why. But you don't want to keep dumping people,
right.
Because you just can't do that.
It's painful.
I did it for them.
Oh, shut up. It wasn't about doing it for them. It hurts you to hurt so many people. Get out! Well, that was one of my better ones.
Are you guys still, sleeping with each other?
Well, we're in the same house together. we're legally separated.
Why do you have to get so?
Yeah, what do you got? Yeah, what do you?
Leave us alone.
Sorry.
It's a good thing you didn't call.
What do you think, genius?
So,
come on.
Enough with you.
We're legally separated.
I didn't know if that meant that. I didn't know if you're not allowed to sleep with each other anymore. I'm curious. I'm sure a lot of people are curious about that.
That's their, it's none of their business.
Right. Do you get oral from Alison?
Yeah, I mean, is it limited to oral in the separation agreement?
Do you feel her up? I still have tremendous sexual feelings for my wife.
How many bases do you get in the separation agreement?
But when you're separated, it's a private thing.
I didn't know the reason why I didn't know that if you can still date Alison,
sure you could.
Date anybody you want.
Oh no, they just came out with a law.
That's what I'm saying. So then, in other words, you can take her out for dinner, and then maybe.
You're so wacky.
Can you imagine being married to him?
I know he doesn't understand anything.
If he gets divorced, I'm gonna have to explain it to him.
Right. Although anal is out of the question.
After separation, there is a chance.
Yes, there is absolutely.
Why don't you?
I'll counsel you.
Why don't you play with what some of the listeners are thinking about?
Oh, good. You know what? One of the things.
Voicemail?
A lot of voicemail. But I'm sure they've been very sensitive to what's going on in my life.
Of course.
Let's see.
Gary, please say it's not so. I just picked up the paper. They said Alison and Howard broke up. Please say it's not so. What's going on? This is not right.
Listen, I just saw Howard's wife with Patrick Ewing. I don't know what to make out of it. Get back to me. Let me know what's going on.
Oh, no. It looks like my wolf is getting separated. I hope he doesn't lose all his money in a divorce, and I hope I'm not out of a job. But maybe he could leave his money with me, and I'll keep it under my mattress. Oh, no, but I wouldn't want Baby Jackson to find it, so maybe he should put it in one of those Swiss bank accounts. Oh, no, my boss is a hypocrite. Now he can't make fun of other celebrities getting divorced. Uh-oh, I better go find some bananas.
I guess Rob's dreams came true, huh? Fact that he has Howard to himself now.
Howard's a loser. Hey, he's just like every other rich loser. His wife left him. Good for him. Good for him. Now, everybody's going to be making fun of him. I miss everybody. Yeah, you better not show up to work Monday, you loser.
Yes, just two questions. First, is Jessica Hahn burning up the phone lines? And second, what time does Amy Lynn's airplane arrive?
Yeah, Gary, I was wondering if you could do me a favor. I don't know if you can get me Alison's number. So I hear she's on the market now. So, I think maybe me and her go out a little bit. Take care of her, a little something. Right? Keith?
I think he's got an AOL on in the background. Probably in the chat room looking for Alison.
Yeah. They got to be on the phone in the chat room.
Well, we have a very special audience.
Wow.
Look what I've spawned. A group of people who couldn't be more miserable. The First Lady was really crying, though.
Yeah.
I'm scared. She's the scariest one. Yeah, that was real. You know how some people commit suicide when they read like John Kennedy died, or
right.
She's ready to jump off a ledge.
Well, it does mean that much to some people, I guess. You were a hero.
There goes my hero.
A marital hero.
A marital hero, great. That's just what you want to be in life.
Wait, can you still
bang? Yeah, separation's great. You can still have sex, and you.
It's perfect.
It's perfect.
So my discussion yesterday was.
Right.
First of all, my wife was really, really sad about this whole thing.
Right.
She was really bumming out. Just, the whole kid aspect and everything.
Right.
So I called you. We were in the car. It was a sad day anyway because we were visiting a sick relative.
Right.
And I called you from the cell phone just to see how
you have any relatives that are healthy?
Oh.
Yeah, some.
Oh, okay. Right.
So,
me.
So I called her on the cell phone. I said, I'm just checking to make sure you're okay. See how you're doing. We're still in tomorrow. Is everything okay? And Howard was saying, how sad it is. And my wife's only hearing my end of the conversation. Howard says, whatever you do, man, don't do this. It's just not worth it. I said, I have no plans to. So I hang up. My wife goes,
oh, no.
What do you have no plans to do? And I'm like, I have no plans to get separated. She goes, yeah, that's right.
Damn right you don't.
So comfortable, silent.
Yeah, I didn't know she was there. I was giving you man talk.
Oh, man.
This is something, people say to me, you don't want to go through this. I said, well, this point, we feel like we have no choice.
Yeah, I mean, if you get there, you get there. I mean, you're not choosing this.
Yeah, so then by Sunday, they didn't know what to, by today, Monday, they didn't know what to write, but they had to keep the paper going.
Right.
So, Stern's Long Island neighbors in shock. Howard Stern covered up his marital woes so well that even neighbors by the way, I was surprised on the news. They said I live in a Long Island estate. In fact, a couple of my friends called up and they go, I've seen your house. That's no estate.
You always wanted to be in an estate.
Yeah, I go, is that an estate? Even my kids said, yeah, they called it an estate.
And your neighbors? I notice how you talk to everyone in your block every day.
Yeah, right, my neighbors. Howard Stern, well, I mean, the New York Post was going up and down surveying people. Howard Stern covered up his marital woes so well that even neighbors in his Long Island community were stunned by the shock jock's surprise split from his wife of 21 years. Me and Alison were going through the newspapers. We just want to see if our pictures look good.
I know. I wonder what... That's one of the things that came up for me yesterday. I said, uh-oh, he's not going to like this picture.
We were in bed Sunday morning reading the newspaper, looking for pictures of ourselves.
But also,
that's unbelievable.
Also, you guys are pretty lucky that you have pretty good friends, because I noticed that I didn't see any, unnamed sources squealing.
No, not at all. It comes as a total shock. To me, they had a very happy marriage, said one woman who lives a few doors down from the home Howard and Alison share.
Her best observation could be, I've seen his car go by less.
Yeah, she had binoculars.
I can't imagine how any of my neighbors would know anything about me.
Binoculars, she saw.
I hope they can work it out. Maybe they just need a little cooling off. I saw one internet poll predicts that we will get back together. A source close to the X-rated Gabmeister told the Post last night that Stern will very definitely address his breakup when he returns to the airwaves today. I wonder who that source was. Yeah, because. Hey. Oh, okay, thank you.
You know what else is interesting?
Oh, don't use my name.
I'm doing 18 tonight.
You know what else is interesting?
What?
I'm doing entertainment tonight.
Finally. It doesn't hold a candle because can you still bang it?
All the articles written about you, though, Howard, I noticed, they're all they try to be sympathetic, but all the adjectives used about you are, it's sad that the disgusting X-rated porn.
Right.
Yeah, unfortunately, the 21-year marriage of this schlock jock.
This monster.
You know what else they did? It says from the home Howard and Allison shared. They've already got it in past tense.
Yeah, and we were there together this weekend.
Even
they are separated.
Even like the news station seemed happy.
I missed my pool.
Oh.
Well, that's, on CNN, your split was the happy.
Yeah, they were happy.
Yeah, that was the light news.
Yeah,
the reporters were happy.
Yeah, the reporters liked it.
And in a lighter vein.
In a lighter vein, guess what? Howard Stern's life is ruined. Hey, that's great. Don't expect him to bash Alison in any way. He'll probably talk more about the pitfalls and difficulties of marriage like he always has. Just a few weeks ago. I don't know. This is a source close to me. Yeah. Just a few weeks ago, the couple could still be seen driving around town together in Howard's black Toyota Land Cruiser, residents said. Well, that's true. All weekend we were driving around together. I saw them sitting in their car laughing.
Well, maybe they only looked like they were laughing.
No, we were crying, believe me. They seem fine, said Leo Vigil, a gas jockey at the local Mobil station where Stern fuels up.
Did you stop for gas?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
All my life is either disc jockeys or gas jockeys.
I mean, that's weird.
Everyone's a jockey, though.
That's wearing a little thin when you go to the gas station attendant.
Stern, who regularly boasted about having an ironclad marriage, stunned his fans over the weekend by announcing he and Alison had separated. Yeah, I just wanted to mix things up a little. The rating sweeps.
Sweeps.
The self-proclaimed king of all media has been living in the city, but travels regularly to Long Island to visit his three daughters, ages 16, 13, and 7. Yeah, I just drop in occasionally.
Well, I also saw...
I've only been spending 2 nights a week in this city.
Speculating.
Yeah.
Oh, they said it was wildly rumored that there was trouble in paradise when you bought the apartment.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it
wasn't.
Other people don't have apartments.
And by the way, when we bought the apartment, my wife and I were both into it because I was commuting so much.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Stern fans were burning up internet chat lines, speculating on their hero's bombshell announcement. Some believe the separation may well be a planned hoax to boost the Shock Jock's sky-high ratings even higher.
Oh, sure. People do that.
Yeah. I like to wreck my kid's life.
I like the fact that your whole life is being chatted about by, Captain Jenks and, and Noah's Light
I would like to know what
you know what I did? Saturday night, me and Alison got back from my mom's and with Ashley, and I went on the internet. And I went in one of these Howard Stern chat rooms on the internet. And, you know, gave myself a nickname. And I'm rapping to these guys about my separation. I wanted to see what they were saying.
Yeah.
And they were like, it's probably a hoax. I go, I don't think so. And this guy goes, he isn't going to be in on Monday. They're going to play best of. And I went, no, I don't think so. I think he's always been very open and honest, and he's a great guy.
Maybe you're the inside source.
Yeah.
You were talking to the reporter on the internet.
Yeah, don't use my name. In the past, Stern has hoodwinked listeners with pranks like saying his wife died in a car crash. Others wonder whether the bust-up came because Stern or his wife was seeing somebody else on the side. If anything, this is in quotes, I think there could be another man involved. I think either they thought I'm hang it or...
Oh, they think you're with him?
No. If anything, yeah, look at him. He looks like a girl.
How scary is there's a picture of Ralph, but if they put it as your lover.
If anything, I think there could be another man involved, said rabid Stern fan Linda Mann of the Dynaman Publa. Wait a second. I gotta go to page 22. I gotta read this.
Yeah.
If there's another man involved, why I'll...
Did I make it into the article?
Public Relations Agency.
A few months ago, somebody called Howard's show and claimed Alison was having an affair. Howard said he would know if she was, but they got rid of the caller pretty fast.
Oh, so you were trying to keep it from us, huh?
No, I'm not having an affair. One of the couple's Long Island neighbors, Bryna Steinberg, I've never met her, said she feared, this is great, she feared the bust-up may have a detrimental effect on a lot of marriages.
Ah, that's the best.
I think Howard kept a lot of guys in line. A lot of guys identified with him, and he stuck with the woman who loved him. Now I'm just a creep like everyone else.
This isn't a live commercial, is it?
Word of Stern's bust-up came amid a vow by the Michigan-based American Decency Association to file formal complaints with the FCC against radio stations airing Stern's often raunchy show. They always get that in.
Yeah.
Then they got another article about what a great catch Alison is.
Well, I always like, when Raoul Felder's commenting on you.
Right. Oh, that was the worst. Like, I called Dominic as soon as we were announcing the separation. I said, Dominic, you fat bastard, if I see in the paper you're talking, I am going to be so pissed. He said, don't bloody hang now. But Raoul Felder was saying, this is highly unusual for a couple to get to have mediation.
Yeah, he was saying they must get along because they could do that.
Yeah, but it kills Raoul Felder because I'm sure he would have liked the case. So he could have all our money.
Stir up your life.
Yeah. Anyway, then there's a whole article about what a great catch Alison is. She's sexy, separated, and she's a multi-millionaire. That's because they got these guys all try to predict how much money I have, and I think they think I got way more than I do.
Hell, you better come up with some extra bucks. Maybe we have to take up a collection.
You know? I got all my money hidden in the Cayman Islands. You don't think I'd give it to Alison, do you?
I'll be worried about you when I start seeing you do, like, bad TV commercials.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, did you tune in?
Yeah.
Got milk?
Would you like some tires?
And by the way, speaking of that, where is our 1-800 commercial? Every celebrity in Hollywood does one of these long-distance phone line commercials.
I have a new abs workout coming out.
The ab rocker.
This machine really works. Not on me, but I knew it will.
If I see you and Chuck Norris doing the ab machine, I'll be worried.
It ain't going to happen.
He's your new Christy Brinkley.
Gee, Chuck, I used to have to wear really baggy clothes on television because I didn't have abs. Thanks.
And look at this. I just changed the exercise by changing my arms.
Andrea Pizer's column. Howard, please go back home. Some ideas are plain bad. Others qualify as disasters of monumental proportions. Dick Sargent replacing Dick York as Darren Stevens on Bewitched. Madonna in the role of Evita. Frank and Kathy Lee Gifford. Tara Brownies, the Howard Stern late night TV show. Now we must add to that disturbing list another gruesome image. Howard Stern, the consummate non-drinking, non-smoking, sexually faithful vegetarian, warming a stool in the First Edition pub in Bayside, Queens, downing wine coolers while watching the series with schlubs I went to junior high school with. Howard Stern dating. Howard Stern divorce. Howard Stern loser. Yeah, well, Andrea, rub it in. Then she says, I'll let you in on something I've shared only with my nearest and dearest friends. I love Howard Stern. Not in a romantic way. Yeah, who could love me?
I think you're taking this all the wrong way.
You know what? I don't want to read this. I'm not going to read Andrea Pizer's column. It's not all that great. She gave it to me good.
Yeah, she waited to the fourth paragraph to tell her when she loved you.
Yeah. Why don't you put that in the headline?
After she calls you a loser.
Right.
I love this guy.
Well, Andrea, I'm not going to be dating you, am I?
P.S. He's okay.
Yeah. We haven't heard Fred's story where he was when he got the news.
Yeah.
Oh, you did, actually.
Well, yeah, but you didn't
All right.
tell us what you talked about.
He doesn't talk.
No, we were both saying how sad and shocking it
Right.
was.
Suzanne, you're on the air. No one wants to hear from Fred.
I'm a longtime fan of the show, and I was so upset to hear this. I can't believe this.
Honey, if you think you're upset, you should think how I feel.
I know, and I feel like, and part of me feels like I have no right to even say anything because it's none of my business, but it is because I'm a fan of the show.
Right.
And I don't know, I'm like, why would he walk away from that? It always sounded so perfect, like in the opposite way that Kathy Lee tries to portray her life as perfect. Do you know what I mean?
Well, in many ways it is perfect. In many ways it really is perfect. That's what's so confusing to us. But as I just did a 15-minute rap on some of the things that were wrong, I think that you can understand that, you know, that my wife has very legitimate reasons for not being in the marriage, and so do I right now. And we just need some breathing room.
Well, I wish you the best of luck, and I don't mean to impose, but
That's okay.
It's just weird. It touched me. And
My life's an open book.
I'm sorry, what?
I said my life's an open book.
I don't know. It's just...
It's really touching, too, when you start to think about the kids and all that. It's
that's
a real nightmare.
Yeah, and I think part of this...
By the way, are you cute?
Yeah.
What's your breast size?
Yeah, right. Quickly. Quickly, how good looking are you? I know. You know, this really depresses women, too, because women want to believe that relationships can work.
Love conquers all.
Right. That's exactly
Love conquers all, and it kind of breaks up the...
Right.
Well, that's the sad part of
Women
that
hate it.
Rob Reiner movie.
Yeah.
The Story of Us.
Yeah.
It's like, why isn't this working? We were perfect. It's, you know, this great couple.
That's what, because everyone who knows us goes, man, my niece said to me, you are my role model.
Yeah.
Even more than my own parents. And my sister's got a pretty good marriage. She goes, you guys are my role model. You're the reason I get married.
In fact, when I met you, it was like, God, these two really great friends.
Found each other.
Who just love being with each other and understand each other and are there for each other at every turn.
That's what my niece said. She goes, you guys can't be real with this. She's in total shock. And I just said, you know what? And we gave her pretty much the same story I'm telling you, because it is the truth, that we just,
In fact, I used to say to people, I loved hanging out with you two. Because...
Well, you probably loved hanging out with Alison.
No.
Really?
I mean, at one time you did hang around.
Right. I did have a life at one point. Yeah.
One time, when I first met you, you were there.
Right.
And I used to say it's great to be there because everybody's in love with each other.
Right.
I mean, even, you know, with your entire family. It was like it's a love fest.
Yeah.
As a female listening to the show, the parts I liked about the show was when you would have fights with her. I could even hear through the fighting with Alison how much you really loved each other, and that's probably what drew me in. I know most of your demographic is male, but...
Well, I'll tell you something. The weird thing is that we have never been people who fight, and maybe some marriage experts have said, well, maybe it would have been good if you did. I don't relate to that.
They do say most healthy marriages include fighting. Not boxing, fighting.
Boxing. Yeah, I know a guy in jail for that. He just said, I'm just trying to have a healthy marriage.
Very happy.
Right. Pushing down the stairs. It happens. So, I don't know. I mean, we don't fight, and we're not fighting now, and we're just sad. Alison and I look at each other, and we're very, very sad. There's no other way to tell you what's going on in my life than that.
But you see an opportunity to fix this.
Well, we never even thought it would come to this. We've been working on it and stuff and trying to, like I told you about all that thing about seeing our marriage in the future, and Alison sees it one way and I see it another way, and, we just couldn't agree. And so then we've always even said, like, maybe a separate. See, most couples who get separated kind of see this as like maybe a cooling off period, and a lot of couples do get back together. So we don't know. We don't know what this means, but we think that it was the only solution at this point.
But it doesn't definitely mean divorce.
No, it does not. Not at all. We're not talking about divorce. Not talking about that.
So does this have to do with Carol Alt? Just kidding.
Yeah.
I read something that everyone's making bets on who you're going to end up with next.
Well, yeah, they got that out of my book. Remember, I did that whole thing in the book. So they're basically reprinting my book where I said if my wife ever died, who I would start dating immediately.
You know what the funny thing about that is?
The list is real old.
Well, I was going to say,
those people, a lot of them you don't even know anymore.
I don't even know them anymore.
You're not looking, but if you were, You've aged, and that list has aged
well. Also.
That list is changed.
I'll be honest with you, I got a whole new list.
Your list needs to be 25 years old at all times.
Right.
Absolutely. I was going to say the age list of the list hasn't changed.
Gary, you got that right.
A guy doesn't get single to date women his own age.
Yeah. You don't do that. Doesn't work that way.
All right. Well, anyway, good luck to you, and I just wanted to let you know that this touched me, and probably a lot of other females too. And F. Jackie.
Right. We can all relate to that. Listen, I got to take a break, and the rabbi is out there. He's the rabbi. There's so many people on the phone. Don't get nervous. We'll get right back to this topic. I know that's all anybody wants to talk about. And quite frankly, it's all I want to talk about. It actually feels kind of good to talk about
I
it.
bet you the rabbi has some advice for you.
Yeah, I don't want his advice. I've had all the advice I can get.
To Shul, so.
Yeah. We'll just stick to Michael. He can give me advice, but I'm gonna smack him. I just want to hear how he ended up taking Michael Jackson to Temple. It's a quick interview. We'll do that when we get back, and then we'll get to the rest of these phone calls. And I think somebody has even some news reports that they can play us.
And don't we have that Pete Rose tape?
Yeah, we have Pete Rose.
The Pete
Oh, yeah, Melrose Larry has that.
Unbelievable.
We got a lot. Kenny, what is it?
Hey, Howard, man, I love you, bro.
Yeah.
Just want to let you know that, you know how, like, you give guys the advice there, like, don't get married. You know, you're going to ruin your life. Trust us. We've got the experience. Dude, work it out, bro. Do everything you can, because both you and Alison are both at some point going to say, God damn it, why didn't we work it out? You know what I'm saying? So just do everything you can.
Who are you, my dad?
No.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, I'd like to be the first one to date Alison.
Oh, come on, man. What kind of thing is that? She doesn't like you.
Well, I'd like to request when I go on that
You'll have
date.
to go through me.
You're going to be so busy keeping guys away from Alison.
Yeah,
You don't have time to take
Hey,
Are you
Howard.
a rabbi or what?
Howard.
Yes.
Well, on that date, I have a list of a couple requests to Alison to make sure she brings the pocket rocket.
All right, get out of here. You maniac.
They know
How
just
dare
how
you.
she likes it.
All right, listen, why don't we take a break? When we get back, we'll talk to this rabbi. Not the best day to be talking to a rabbi because we got other stuff on our mind, but we'll do that real quick and we'll be back.